The US, Israel and Iran war has now started affecting India as well, because the central government has decided to invoke the Essential Commodities Act of 1955. Hello students, welcome to Drishti IAS. My name is Saloni Nandkyolier, and in this session we'll understand what is the Essential Commodities Act and why did the government feel the need to invoke this. So I told you that there's a war that's ongoing between US, Israel and Iran, and because of this, the global energy corridor or the Strait of Hormuz has been disrupted. Trade along the Strait of Hormuz has been disrupted, and we know that majority of our trade of crude oil and petroleum products happens through that route. So that is why the government felt the need that they need to invoke the Essential Commodities Act 1955 to regulate and secure the supplies of natural gas, LPG, PNG and CNG amid the ongoing war-related scenarios in the Middle East. Now, 2-3 things to note here right now. The government, the Indian government or the central government, invokes the Essential Commodities Act. Essential Commodities Act is invoked when essential commodities or the production, supply and distribution of essential commodities has to be regulated. Essential commodities like some food grains, certain drugs, fertilizers and petroleum products like LPG, CNG, PNG, etc. So this act basically empowers the central government to regulate the production, supply and distribution and trade of key items to prevent hoarding, price rise, shortage during the times of emergencies. Emergencies like we see natural disasters, calamities, wars, escalations, or even during the times of COVID, we saw such a thing. So whenever essential commodities, the production supply, they have to be regulated so that there's no black marketing, there's no hoarding, there's no stockpiling of essential commodities. This act is invoked, and right now this act has been invoked for petroleum products. Petroleum products like natural gas, LPG, PNG and CNG. This has been invoked for petroleum products at the moment. Now if we talk about the why part of it, I already told you that there's a war that is ongoing, because of which the global energy corridor is facing disruptions, and because of that the Indian Hotel and Restaurant Association also wrote to the Petroleum Minister, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister, Mr. Hardeep Puri, seeking protection because the restaurants, they were facing shutdown due to shortage of cooking gas. There's a shortage of cooking gas that the restaurants are facing, and because of which they wrote to the minister, and because of that there was a need that was felt to invoke the Essential Commodities Act to maintain that the supply of petroleum products for our households and restaurants. Basically, cooking gas should not be falling short in all these essential areas. So that's why this act has been invoked. Now if we look at the orders and the directions that have been given by the government. So priority allocation of natural gas is going to happen. Natural gas is going to be treated as a priority, and it is going to be allocated to meet the critical needs of the country. And what are our critical needs at the moment? Domestic piped natural gas, which ensures household cooking. So in this scenario, our households should not fall short of cooking gas. That is why priority allocation of natural gas will go to domestic piped natural gas. Then compressed natural gas or CNG for transportation, because majority of our public transport runs on CNG. So we have to ensure that CNG is also available, proper, appropriate or adequate CNG is available in the country. And then LPG production also has to be increased to maintain the cooking gas. So what is our priority at the moment? Households are a priority. Cooking gas in households are a priority. Cooking gas in restaurants are a priority. And CNG for transportation sector is our priority. So what is not our priority at the moment? Industries. industries are not the priority at the moment. That is why certain directives have been given for LPG industry. Certain measures are being taken for the LPG industry, that all these refineries and petrochemical units, they have to increase their LPG production. They have to increase the LPG production. And how will they do that? So for that, propane and butane, it has been directed that propane and butane will now be diverted only for LPG production, which means it is not going to be available for industrial use at the moment. It is not going to be available to the industries temporarily. It is going to be used for increasing LPG production at the moment, because cooking gas is our priority, households are our priority, industries are not our priority at the moment, because it's a war that's happening in the world. So because of all these things, we need to understand that critical sectors for us right now, they are households and they are restaurants. Cooking gas has to be ensured, adequate supply of cooking gas has to be ensured. Because of that, our LPG production has to increase, and for that, propane and butane have been diverted for LPG production only. They will not be available to industries temporarily. And all this LPG has to be sold to state-run oil companies. State-run oil companies like IOC, etc., they'll have to be sold, or they'll have to be made available to the state-run oil companies, so that the government can ensure that petroleum products do not fall short in our critical sectors. Industries can wait at the moment, but our priority is to ensure that there's adequate cooking gas in the households and restaurants, and there's adequate CNG for our public transportation. So that was all for this discussion. Let's see what happens in the near future. Where does this war take us? But now we look at a practice question for prelims. And before we do that, I'll quickly tell you that we have this course for you, which is the Studio GS Foundation live online course. Now you know that this course is your complete UPSC preparation kit, because you will be preparing for both prelims and mains in only 14 months. Prelims and main syllabus is going to be covered in 14 months at a very affordable price of only rupees 34,999. And that is not all. If you wish to avail a further 10% discount, then you can use this coupon code, which is SALONI, all in capital letters only, and you will be able to get a 10% discount on this fee. So hurry, as the admissions are already open. You have 3 different mediums to choose from: English, Hindi and English. So for any more information, you can call us at 87501 87501, and you can also download the Drishti Learning app. Now let's look at a practice question. Consider the following statements regarding the Essential Commodities Act and recent government actions on LPG and natural gas. 1. The ECA allows the government to regulate production, supply and distribution of essential goods during emergencies. 2. India invoked the ECA recently to ensure uninterrupted household LPG supply due to global supply disruptions caused by the Iran war. 3. Refineries are now allowed to use propane and butane freely for industrial purposes instead of LPG production. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only, B. 2 and 3 only, C. 1, 2 and 3, or D. 1 and 3 only. Please attempt this question and provide your answers in the comment section. Thank you for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.